Okay, your first job with the lathe is obviously to put your piece of material in this end here, which is a 3-jaw chuck. You do this with a chuck key, which has a square end on it, and this should be tightened up, very tight, to grip your material as tightly as possible. We're then going to test to see how centered that is by turning the machine on, and what you're looking here is for how much this material will wobble up and down. It's easiest to look at the horizon of the material and then see how much it comes up and down. This is a little bit wobbly, but actually it's good enough. Sometimes you need to undo the material and rotate it inside the chuck and then retighten it and then try again. Okay. Having done that and having fixed it in there so it's not too wobbly, we're now going to face off this end. Now that means that we want to make a lovely square end here. At the moment this is roughly cut and it isn't at 90 degrees to the chuck. So we're going to face it off with this cutting tool here. To do that, I'm also going to be using the auto feed capability of the machine. Now that is controlled with these two knobs here. This one, and it must be pulled out when you're wanting the machine to feed it crossways, and this machine here, this knob here is the one that you lift up to activate the auto feed. This is easier seen once the machine's running. So if I start it up, get in position. When you're machining metal, you need to be careful that you don't try to take off too much material at a time. So we're looking to take off a tiny little whisker, a tiny shaving off the front. So I'm bringing the cutting tool up close to the material just to try it out. And I can see that I'm not going to be cutting too much off there. So I'm now going to activate my auto feed by lifting up the black knob, and you'll see that starts to bring the tool across the front of the material in a nice, controlled, even speed. Okay, when it gets near to the middle, this one I can see I can take some more off, so I'm going to stop the auto feed now. I'm going to return the cutter to the outside, and I'm going to move it along a little bit more and then put the auto feed back on.